Broadcast is now starting. All attendees are in listen-only mode.
Hey, hello, everyone. How are you all doing tonight? Okay, hello, everyone. This is Vipul Garg this side from LetX, and I really want to welcome you to the session 3 of the MailMastery live coaching out there. Guys, if you can hear me out well and can see my screen, put a 1 in the box so I know that you can hear me out well. Put a 1 in the box, guys, and also let me know which part of the zone are you from so I know who I'm addressing tonight and who am I speaking with, out there with all of you guys out there. Okay, I see guys coming in from the UK, Australia, US. I've got Steve, Cloud, Alan, Kimberly, Clemmy, Daniel, Grant, John, Conrad, Steve, William. I've got three Williams actually. Wow, that's great. I I have people from a variety of places out there. All right, guys, how are you guys doing today? Uh, it's roughly 8:30 p.m. for me from where I am right now. I am in my office right now. Doing this fantastic Mail Mastery Live Session 3 with all of you lovely guys out there, and it really gets me excited. To get started with you guys out there. All right. So, guys, before I start, firstly, I would like to really pass my sincere apologies for not being able to do the live session the last week, which, the one which was scheduled, for the last week. I was traveling to attend a marketing summit, and the tour got extended, for some masterminds out there. But then you see, these masterminds allow me to get those secret hacks, implement them in my business, and come back to you to prepare such coachings for all of you guys out there. All right, so I'd really, like you to excuse me for that, and the energy that I've been able to conserve by not being there in the last ones. I look forward to putting in all of those energies out there in this session 3 out there over here. All right, guys. So without doing any further ado, I see a lot of ones flowing in. I'm kind of now confirmed that all of you guys can see me and can hear me out well. So I'd really like you to get up with me, and stay with me on this one because this is going to get really exciting for you. There's another thing that I'd really like to mention, which is that in the tonight's session or in the today's session, I'd really like you to sit with probably a pen and a paper or something that you can make notes upon. That's one. Second, I'd really like you to be highly attentive on this particular session because if you could see, there are over 81 slides out there that we have put together uh, for this particular session 3, and there's going to be tons of values and examples and big hacks that we're going to be delivering for you to be able to get started with your email marketing. So are you in with me on this or not, guys? Give me a 1 if you are in with me into being heavily focused on what I'm going to be talking about, because this literally can change the way you look at email marketing today, and I'm really bent to make it happen with you. Give me a 1, guys, if you are in with me on this or not. All right, guys, I see a lot of ones flowing in, so I'm quickly going to be getting started now. All right, so hello again for those of you who missed on the previous sessions. Again, I am Vipul Garg, the co-founder and the CEO at LetX. And to tell you quickly on what exactly we do at LetX, we run a company, which is into helping marketers get more out of the websites and the emails that they are sending. And the reason why I could probably sit in front of you and speak with you on how to do better email marketing is because I've been profitably doing email marketing since 2012, and that's exactly what I'm using the experience of to put forward my best kept hacks, my best deliveries out there in this particular session out over here. And then we have the another rock star with us, who's been helping me with her team to put together such great presentations. Yamini Mago, the senior growth strategist at LetX, who helps and heads the email marketing department as well out there, and one of the faces that you have been seeing on these webinars as well out there. And again, for those of you wondering, LetX is a SaaS company. We are a software company that it is building a suite of conversion optimization applications. We have over 9,000 plus businesses and marketeers worldwide using our applications actively. FYI, and we are also funded and backed by India's largest performance marketing network called V Commission out there. So quickly, again, coming back to the training schedule as a recap, we are done with the module one and the module two, and now we're talking about the module three today, which is the designing engaging and responsive email campaigns. All right. So before I move forward, I want to quickly speak about what you can look forward to knowing in this particular presentation and this session out there. So you guys can practically know how to write emails and how to craft your emails in a way that people are going to be hooked up to it. Second, you're going to be able, after this session, you're going to be able to write in emails that you will be able to better position to land them into the inbox so you can have better and better deliveries. And then on the third, you can effectively see what it takes to make a profitable email campaign while you're at it. So who all are in with me on this? I see a lot of ones flowing in, guys. I want to keep getting those ones out there because this really, gets the energy in me being pumped up. I've had a long day, and the more energy you reciprocate back to me, I think it's that law of universe. The more of the energy that you push into me, the more I'm able to get it forward to you out there. All right, so let's go further. So you see, statistics say that one of the most popular activities on smartphones is being checking out on emails. So while all of that is happening, and despite the fact that email is the most preferred medium, I want to ask you a question. Are you spending enough time working on your email marketing strategies for perfection? Well, I know by now, if you would have attended our last two sessions or if you would have watched the replay, you would have known that what is the importance of writing good emails and what are the right ways to write perfect emails or rocking emails. But you know what? All of this can be a waste of time unless you align what you have learned to the best of your capacity in designing it. Unless you know how do you design this the best way possible, it's really gonna be a waste of time. And if you're wondering right now on how can you achieve all of that, well, you can, one, by triggering the psychology of your reader, by making sure your email has maximum deliverability, and by devising it for different platforms such as mobiles. So each of these individual items is being a really a big subtopic in itself. So I want you guys to be really focused on what I'm going to be talking about now. So guys, emails are not at all science or formula, but we see writing emails as a one hell lot of an art. So let's actually trigger the psychology of your reader. Well, let's talk about designing email marketing for user psychology. Well, the part one of it is follow the F pattern. Now, the word F could probably be, picking up a lot of words for you, but the word F probably works the best for us when we are designing our emails and when we are putting together our emails together. And you must remember this pattern out there. So you see there are several softwares which are able to track where exactly is your viewer looking at your screen. And most of these eye tracking studies suggest that people view digital content in an F pattern, something that you can see below in these pictures as well over here. So this heat map, while it essentially shows, the points where it is extremely red, it's exactly where your reader's eye is. So according to the psychology, there's a concept called systems, which is precisely the gap between your lines and the paragraphs and the size. It clearly shows up that it really affects the focus of your readers and the time they invest in reading your emails. Therefore, you must use a large headline or title that quickly grabs the attention of a user's eye, and you must include some call to action buttons or bullets and numberings, such that it looks into an F form. Now, for all of you wondering on that you're still not getting this F pattern out there, let me pick up some examples out there. So for example, this is an F-shape optimized email from this company called SumoMe. Let's actually look at this. So in the first go, it says that if you have a website, you need this tool. Now look at the way it has been designed. It looks like it has a catchy headline. Then it has a relatively smaller font subheadline linking to the heading of the and the body. So basically, it acts like a bridge on what you're about to talk about in the body, and then what exactly you have at headline, and then they start with some bullets and numberings in a way that it creates an F pattern. So this creates a trigger in the human psychology in their mind and enables them to consume most of your information, right? And we talked about what kind of information to write in the session two. So you now exactly know that how to frame the perfect content to get the most sales. And now we're talking about how to put them together in your email. Okay. And then you could use images to rock your emails because, according to psychology, again, the human brain can process 60 images 60,000 times faster than the text. So, probably look at the image in the left section. It says a snack station is open, and then they have a big and lovely image that instantly pulls my eye. Oh, by the way, that's a lovely picture of this Indian dish called pakoras. Who all here, by the way, know this dish called pakoras? It's made of gram flour, and it tastes really, really, really good. Have you ever had pakoras in your life? It's an Indian dish. Put a P in the box if you have had pakoras in your life, guys. You must check out an Indian restaurant nearby, and you must have pakoras somewhere. They're a bit spicy, but they taste really, really, really good. It's like vegetables wrapped in gram flour and then deep fried. Never mind. I don't get even a single P out there. People have certainly not eaten this up. Never mind. All right. So, as I said, you could use images to rocket emails. And the reason why you should use images again is not just because humans can process images 60,000 times faster than the emails, the text in the emails, but it also gives a break to the eye of the reader by balancing out the text and the image, and it gives the reader something attractive to grab attention of. So, for example, look at this email out there that we sent out to our own users. All right. What you can also do is to capture the eye of the user. You can use personalized videos, which of course is one of the best features at NetMailBox out there. One of our apps at LetX. It what personalized videos do is it helps you to capture the attention of your audience by auto playing videos with personalized text written in them, such that it looks like there's something in for the subscribers out there in those emails. Definitely. It also infuses curiosity, it boosts up the engagement, it helps you customize your personal message, and then it helps you skyrocket your click through rates, right? I mean, that's the most important thing. Also, while you're creating an email, you must always and always go for this principle called the magical inverted pyramid. Now, the magical inverted pyramid says that you must have the most important things at the topmost section out over there, wherein essentially you could put in your introduction, or you could put up your headlines, or you could put up the main text out there. And then what you want to do is you want to put together the next most important things just below that, which essentially is like a body. I highly recommend that you must put up all of your text in bullets and numberings, because this gives a human eye a cue. This gives us human eye a direction on where to look at, where to read at the next. Because I can tell you guys, Homo sapiens, as we are called, human beings, or Homo sapiens as we are called, we are born out of lazy beings. So our eye would always want to relax at a point. And if you have numbers and bullets down in the place, it really gives a human eye a part of a cue, a part of a direction on where it should look at the next. And then comes the least important part from there, which basically we say is your tail. I mean, essentially, right? I mean, you know it, right? I mean, tail is probably one of the least used mechanisms in a human body as well. We all have a tailbone, but we don't have a tail. So let's just put it out there. But then we've got something really important. And I'm talking about in the emails. We have it as the postscript. Never really forget the star of your emails being the postscript. And in the session two, we discussed at length on how could literally leverage the postscript in your emails to maximize the profits to the next level. Who all here, by the way, remember it? Yeah, put an R in the box, an R in the box. If you remember it, the power of PS out there. Okay, I see three R's coming in. Wow, great. Wonderful, guys. For those who do not remember it, I really recommend you guys to go back and check out the session number two, as this really would make a lot of sense out there. I have someone else also saying that they use it a lot. Great. Awesome. Let's move forward, guys. So while creating an email, as we say, we always remember the magical inverted pyramid out there. So for example, look at this email that we sent. We have the most important information, which probably tells you what it does as at the utmost. And then we have those additional facts, which we're clearly using an emoji for to put forward as bullets. And then we have the start of the email being the PS, where we are putting in our closing statement out there. Also, what we exactly do is we recommend you to use a call to action button at a place where it can drive an action. For example, when you write an email, you should look at it as if you're telling a story. And the points where you think you want them to trigger up with something is exactly where you need to put in that call to action button. So the way I would do it is whenever I'm writing a story and at a point of time when I know I'm about to trigger an aha moment, so an aha moment is a moment, for example, wherein let's say you would have a goosebump. So at exactly that point, I would want to, literally sneak in my call to action button over there, and you must have it. We recommend it in the first fold, the above the fold, because then people exactly know that what are you trying to get them to do. Guys, you must be very explicit in your expectations, and your emails must depict that in its design as well. As we also talked about in the session two, that you must be explicit in your emails to to literally unreveal those possibilities of getting the most clicks out of your email. So we recommend put a call to action button in the above fold as well at a non-intrusive place. Well, second, to be able to better use that user psychology to design quick as emails, you could literally use colors to the best. You can really use colors to boost your email's performance. So, for example, I would use a red color at the places where I would want to create a sense of urgency, or at places where I would want to literally get someone's attention, because red color literally signifies energy, and it's a color psychology, guys. I mean, probably, I don't know if you know or not, it's actually a science to study colors. It's actually a science where people use colors to literally dominate someone. People use colors to change people's lives. It's actually a science where people are using colors to ease out problems that people have in their lives. So red color literally signifies energy, and I would use the red color, for example, the email in the left, to evoke strong emotions, to evoke adrenaline rushes, where I want to get attention from the users. And you could use orange color to invoke optimism, to invoke trust, because orange signifies trust, and it's a very happy and a positive color that evokes trust in your reader's mind by transmitting optimism. So you could use it to present a story around your product or a service, and have them to build some trust over what you are telling them out over there. And this really works out there, by the way. uh, and then you have those colors like blue, which you could use to put in authenticity or to build relationships, because blue color really signifies calmness and authenticity, which is probably like one of the core fundamentals of building and having a good relationship out there with anyone, be it your buyer, subscriber, spouse, partner, anyone like that. Blue is literally a color that instantly calms down your reader. I mean, it evokes a sense of building relationship. And that's exactly why, if you would see, most call to action buttons, by the way, are blue in color, or at the most orange in color. And guys, you could probably use all the colors in this life. There are infinite colors out there in the universe, but we're only talking about the colors that we think are widely used in the marketing space of ours, and the ones that can really make a lot of sense. And then is the purple color. Well, purple color is something that signifies a lot of creativity. For example, look at things from Cadbury, or any revolutionary gifts or new outcomings. People mostly use a purple color. It symbolizes creativity. It symbolizes luxury. So it's a color for creative minds. That would always come up with innovations. It connects with wealth, regard, and wisdom. So it represents the ability to solve problems and bring about innovations that ease on problems. But you got to be very careful when you use purple colors, because purple color is something that would always stay on the edges. Either it usually goes on the most extreme right-ear side, and then it would go on the most extreme left-ear side. What I'm trying to use say is that the blue color, the orange color, and the red color are still something that you can use flexibly at ease, but purple is something which, if not used right, can really does a lot of damage. So I mostly prefer to refrain using the purple color, but I see a lot of big marketers experimenting a lot with purple color, so I really recommend that as well. And then you see, guys, after we discuss and how we use the human psychology with the F pattern and with the colors, we could also use some mind-blowing psychology tips to include into the emails, using which each of these is going to help you increase your deliverability or increase the results, bit by bit. So, for example, the first one being creating the fear of missing out. Well, you see, if there's something to offer out, I would always cap the availability of that particular thing and show them on how my product has been in demand in my email campaign. So, for example, I love this thing which Get Response, a very renowned email service provider, gets out with on most of the annual deals and the Black Friday deals, and it says that don't miss out, but then it also says that only 500 accounts are remaining. You could use scarcity, like, we're saying that only these many items are left, or you could use urgency, saying, the sale is ending in 30 minutes, and then you could put up the capping like only for the first 25 users. And we have literally worked these as examples, in our email campaigns, and we literally, use these at places out there, and it has always and always worked out the best for us. Well, what you can also use is something called the foot in the door technique. What it says is that you must not, just like you want to get into someone's house, you could literally get yourself entirely in, or you could just put your foot in the door and then slowly started to peep in. That's exactly the psychology, that we suggest that you could use to, not to take the information or all of it in one go, but instead what you could do is you could actually take information in bit by bit. Once the user fills in one set of information, you ask them to set another set of information, and all of that stuff. Because you see, the more the redirects people get into, it really gets very tedious. Or then you could use or embed, a Q&A form right within an email, just like we do at LetX using our own app called LetMailBox. What it does is, guys, you can create your own questionnaire and embed it within the email itself, and people can fill in this questionnaire by being in the email itself. They don't have to get redirected anywhere and then go and fill that form. They can simply open the email, put in the form, fill in the form there itself, and simply click submit, and it will be all submitted, right? It's all hassle free. It really, really can be analyzed thoroughly, and it's personalized. Plus, it really, really does the job. And then one thing that you can do is that you can use a price anchor. So, for example, what you could do is you could say that, you could show up a clear demarcation of in the price anchor. So, for example, it's price anchoring essentially is a method which you can use to showcase your viewers that the price that you're offering is much much better as a deal. That they would get on a usual basis. And a before after state usually works great out there. So, for example, look at the example that we use in our campaign. So we have an anchor price wherein we tell them that what people would usually pay, and then we have an actual price on what people would actually pay if they get it right now. So this really really works quick as, because it instantly triggers something in the mind, and the mind is anchored to this price, and they end up actually buying it out. What you could also do is you could set up a comparison wherein you can say that, hey, it is usually retailed at this much price, and then I'm giving it this price. And compared price is a very big psychology in the e-commerce business as well. As I told you that I've been working great lengths on building up this other business of ours called We Fulfill, which is into e-commerce fulfillment. It's a big chain, and I know for a fact, because I'm working with a lot of e-com big time entrepreneurs these days, that compared price really, really does the difference. And now that you understand the psychology that you could use to write emails that actually help you get more and more results. Well, I now recommend that before you send the send button, we talk about how to ensure maximum email deliverability for your email campaigns. uh, well, we'll did you actually, actually, do you actually know on how to ensure maximum deliverability in your emails? And let us know if you get the first part of the session out there. Put a one in the box if you get it out there, or if anyone has any tips on how to get maximum deliverability in your campaigns. And while you put together your ones and zeros, let me gulp on, let me take a sip of water, up over there. Let me know, guys, if you have anything in mind on how to ensure maximum deliverability. And if you think you don't know anything and you would like to learn more about it, simply put in one in the box. Okay. Well, thanks for having waiting on me. Just I was just sipping on a glass of water. All right, so designing email marketing for deliverability out there. So speaking of email deliverability, guys, email deliverability is when an email gets delivered into the inbox of the receiver, and because often gets email gets flagged as spam, and it really affects the deliverability of your emails, and of course, the the results that you get out of your campaigns out there. So, for example, the first thing that we highly ensure and we highly recommend is that you must keep your email sizes being very not much bigger, because it can then have a really big impact on deliverability, because large emails usually will take a lot of time to load and are mostly chopped off by all email clients. They are a big hindrance as well because they load up very slow. They take too much time, for a user to consume the information. It's kind of looks really complex. So you must keep your email size under control. Second, you really want to guys screenshot this up or click a picture out there, right? Because we really want to make sure, and we really want to recommend that you keep some trigger words in your emails under control. You don't want to use words that are recognized as spam in your email. So, for example, words like free, money, help, reminder, satisfaction, save dollars, dollar signs for that matter, guys, by the way, earning, percentage off, discount, search words, you really don't want to use them. These are straight away flagged as sending your emails into the promotions folder or the spam folder out there, and this really affects it up. And but at times, if you really have to write this up, we usually put up an underscore in between. So, for example, if I were to write discount, I would usually write it as discount, or I would write it DISC 0UNT. And because this is something then the spam filters cannot track as such, very importantly. But we highly recommend you not to use them at all at the first. And to add you as a bonus tip, it is always great if you're sending emails to someone who have your email addresses added as a contact, because then it really affects your delivery to the code. I mean, if you're not added as a contact in recipient's email database, the probability of you getting flagged is way higher. So you must always ask the subscribers to add you as a contacts, and to do that, you could incentivize users. So, for example, we time and now we often say special announcement for you. If you add us as a contact in your list, you will get a free 3-hour training to boost your emails even more. Hurry up, and go about this. So basically, what we're doing is we're tempting them to adding us as a contact by giving something of value in return. And we don't have a mention of it right over here, but then at times we also use, an in-house created page wherein we are able to get people to add us to the contacts in just simply one click out there. Well, to add another bonus tip, you could also incentivize your subscribers, or really pump your subscribers to reply back to your emails, because that really affects your deliveries to the best. what we do is we say that, guys, if you reply to this email with a special mention, you will get our ebook for free. So, I mean, if you put up such prizes, you definitely get responses. And if you're sending emails to someone, and if that someone is responding back to your emails, we can tell you that it really helps setting up the deliverability of your emails out there, or over there. Also, guys, you really want to stop sounding all salesy. So, you do not want to simply use all things caps or all things small. I know that, you would really want to do that. We also use that at times. But usually you should reframe from using any spammy words, using any special characters, or overdo any punctuation, by the way. And you must always proofread a copy for spelling errors out there. Also, guys, you must find a right balance in the image and the text. I get it that images are processed way faster, they're read faster, they're interpreted way faster, but then you really want to make sure that you have a right balance of the text and image, because then it would be really flagged as an spam. For example, look at this email out there. They added so many images in the emails that it simply wouldn't load, and it simply ended up landing in the spam section of an inbox. So to give you a good handsome rule, you can stick with an 80-20 text to image ratio, where you can avoid having deliverability issues. Basically, what we're trying to say is that you should have 80% of your email as text, and then the 20% of your emails being the images. And the images should compulsorily have all tags in place. So if we use any email autoresponder, anytime you upload an image, it would always have an ability to add an alternative text. Basically, what alternative text is like is that if the image falls to load, what is the text that's going to be printed in that place? So if you have an alt tag or an alternate text in your images, it helps increase the deliverability even if the images are not loading. Also, you should avoid the concept of one image will serve the purpose of the email. So, for example, you would often see some brands sending you emails with, with one kind of an image there in the place, and literally nothing else out there. So, you really want to put up some text out there. You just simply don't want to attach a big poster in your email and straight away send it to everyone, because this really wouldn't make the cut. And emails without a balanced text image ratio literally wouldn't allow the users to search for it as well, by the way, after a certain period. So you really want to have some text out there in the place for someone to have refer to. Also, guys, you should always email, in batches. You should never email everyone straight away in the bulk. So, for example, even when we email, if you remember, we talked about segmenting the list in the last session. What we do is we segment our list, and then we schedule emails to be sent to each of those segments, in a time difference of say 4 minutes, 5 minutes each, because then it does not let the server, which server is sending your emails. Even if you're using an autoresponder, they also of course are using some email server to send some emails. uh, it enables those servers, to cool down once you're sending emails, and then and it really helps increase the deliverability out there. Also, did you know that 7 out of 10 email marketing campaigns are a failure, by the way, because they don't end up in the reader's inbox? And of course, nobody likes to be ignored, right? So here's how you can start, getting avoided to be ignored. And one of the things we do it as is something called deliverability testing. We always test our emails to make sure that they're impactful 100% out there. So what we do is, before we send an email, we send it to a test list of contacts, and we perform an inbox text to check where are they landing up. Are they going into the spam? Are they going to the inbox? Are they going to the updates folder? Are they going to the promotions folder out there? To do that, what we've done is we've created a list of test contacts. So basically, multiple email addresses, say about 15, 20, that we ourselves created from different email providers, and that's actually a must thing. So Gmail, Hotmail, Yahoo, Outlook, and Live.com. These are the ones that we use. We don't use Hotmail though. So we have created five email addresses each on each of these platforms, and then before we actually send out a broadcast, we send an email to this particular test email list. Okay, and then we check where exactly did the email landed up into. And guys, to tell you, we do not open all the emails on all of those things. We only check where did the land. That's it. we would only optimize the design of the email by opening an email from one provider. So, for example, let's say I've got 5 email IDs where I'm sending the email to. I would never open the email from the other 4 email IDs, okay? Because I do not want to build an affinity for that particular service provider, okay? Now, what happens is that the more the people are opening an email that you are sending, more are the chances that you will land in good positions with them. So I really want to create a case of worst case wherein I'm able to check on, how is my email landing and how am I able to optimize my email, once I'm doing that as well. Also, we do an inbox test to check where exactly is the email landing. Is that landing in in the spam folder or the promotions folder or the updates folder, and we really look forward to the potential problems that could be doing that. So we try change some text, we try changing some making some edits, we do a lot of stuff that would help us. For example, as I said, if I would say off, I would not write it like this, and I would like write it like this. And if I were to use dollars, I would not put a dollar sign like this. I would simply put up an emoji of a dollar sign from like over here, right? And this would really help me do the cut. So the idea is to trigger cut down everything that you think will make your email land into the spam or promotions. Also, once you have a list of test contacts, what you do is you perform an inbox test where you send out your email to this list to check where your emails are actually landing. And you can also check if your font, images, everything is looking good and right in both desktop and mobile in your inbox. That's what we ideally do as well. Also, if your email is not landing in the inbox, what we do is, as I said, we tweak the content. uh, First of the things that we do is we try changing the from section of the email. So, for example, we use an app called Active Campaign. It's a really kick-ass application. It enables us to change the from person name when we're sending the email. So, for example, one of the and you would clearly say that it's a test email, so it shows text. Now, for example, one time we try MailEngageX recommends, and then we try MailEngage team, and we'd see which one of them is looking the best, which one of this is performing the best on a test list, and accordingly, basis that we'd use one of them. Also, we check the email again, scan it once again for spam words, and if you don't get it right now as well, I want you to take a screenshot for this particular picture out there, and you really want to avoid using all of these spam words in your emails in a way. So take a picture out there, if you are, uh, yeah. So we check for those spammy words, and we filter or alter our content accordingly. All right. So you liking it so far, guys? Put a one in the box. If you have been able to get it so far, put a one in the box, guys. If you're in with me on this, put a one if you think if you're liking it so far and you're getting it so far. That's the more important thing for me. All right. People saying good stuff. Someone saying incredible stuff. Oh no, it's plain science. Yeah. Cool. They're liking it, guys. Someone says a bit overwhelming as well. I'm sure it is, and you must see the replay. And eventually we have only 6 sessions, and I have a lot to share. So I really want to get forward with all of them one by one. Um, yes, we're gonna be putting together a replay for you to look into it once again, so you can really go about checking it out. Great. So one of the other things that we use is, guys, to check our email reader. Of course, you can build your own list as well. But then what you can also use is this app called Gmas. What you need to do is simply, go to this so go to Google and write Gmas mail checker, and you would get a link. Simply open that link, and it will look a screen like this. Now, what you need to do is copy these email addresses at the top, and use any email service to send your email to these addresses, and then you would clearly see that where exactly did your email land into the folders of where. Okay, so it will tell you if it landed in spam, for example, over here, or it landed in primary inbox, or it landed in promotions or wheresoever. And basis that, you can optimize your emails the best possible way. And it's a really kick-ass service. It's free to use, by the way. It charges nothing. The app name is called Gmas. Simply go to Google and write Gmas mail checker, and you would get it out there. It's really free to use. And then you keep checking our internet service provider reputation score. So basically, every email service every email address would have a score with every ISP, and we really keep checking out on how is that one being. So what we do is we simply check out on our domains and on our IP addresses, and we use this tool called Sender Score. Uh, and it's again, of course, like a paid, partly paid and partly free tool, but it will do your job. So that's exactly the best thing out there. Also, we do a lot of content filtering testing. Because thorough content filtering testing, you can literally filter your email messages according to certain content filters, which tell you whether or not your email content is spammy or not, or if it has content that does not pass through the inbox. To do that, you can use this app called Glock Apps. It's again a partly paid application, but then the free trial will do your job again. What you do is simply put in your content over there, and it will analyze how much of it is being spam. We use an application called Active Campaign that enables us to send emails as well, and it has this inbuilt already. So we don't really have to go about checking this out. Also, one of the things that you want to check is an IP and domain blacklist testing. This is a test that you can run to check if your IP address or domain is listed on anti-spam database. Now, guys, what happens is whenever you're sending an email to someone, let's say you're sending it from my email address, we put a LetX.co, okay? Now, LetX.co is the domain which should be whitelisted again. Second, my email addresses should not be blacklisted anywhere. Third, it should be the case that the IP address using which my email is going should also not be blacklisted. So you must check all these three to get better deliverability of your emails. We use an app called MX Toolbox to check if a domain and IP has been blacklisted or not. And it really, really does the work. Again, this app is free to use, guys. MX Toolbox. Now, another thing is we also do some kind of authentication testing. It's a way to prove that your email is not forged. Now, to do this, what you can do is you simply set up the SPFs and DKIMs, uh, to enable to let the receiver know that the email has been verified. And Glock apps again can be used to do such kind of testings out there. Now, guys, having said you talked about all the best ways to increase deliverability, I know that this could be a bit overwhelming and could get a bit technical as well. But then, guys, you must check out the replay of this particular session and discover things at length by yourself. Go to Google and put in this application, open up a free account over there. All of them have free trials or free accounts. They don't charge you anything. Use them to the fullest, and while you do it, you'd get to know how to get it. And still, if you have any issues, feel free to come back to us, of course. But then if you watch the replay, you'd be able to get started. It's practically all of it, do it yourself kind of thing. It's all done for you. Cool. So having said that, with over 48% of the email campaigns being open on a mobile device, emails which are mobile responsive are no longer just nice to have. It's kind of a must want to have. And by the way, did you know that 48% of your emails are open on mobile devices, and over 11% of your email templates are optimized for mobile, where 69% of the mobile users delete emails that are not optimized, and 64% of the decision makers read their emails on the mobile. So, you really want to make sure that your emails look the best on email. So, how do you make your email mobile responsive, by the way? Well, rule number one, you must always keep it simple with a single column layout. So, creating an email design with a single column layout has a responsive width and a font, and it is the easiest way to create an email that looks and behaves great on mobile. Now, to give you an example, what I'm saying is that I simply put in the paragraph text, and there is nothing on the left and there is nothing on the right. That's exactly what I mean by having a one column email. So it should be also your priority for a great effectiveness on your email. So if I'm creating any email out there, what I simply do is I simply start writing a paragraph text, and I would not add anything to the right side of it and not add anything to the left side of it. I would only keep adding things just to the below of it. Okay, did you get it? All right, guys, put a one in the box if you're getting it so far. I know it is a bit overwhelming. I've got two people saying that it is a bit overwhelming, and then many people saying that they really like to see the replay. Again, yes, guys, you must watch the replay to really really help you out. But please let me know if you're getting a gist of it as well. I really want to make sure that when you watch the replay of it as well, you at least get the context and get the reference and get started with this. Guys, of course, you see, if you have not done email marketing profitably and at a big scale so far previously, you will not get everything at one place, and you really should not be thinking of eating everything in one go as well. You should only chew as much as you can digest, right? So but then you must have all the access to the food available, so it's really important that you're getting it, all of it, and then you can of course get to choose the uh, things out there. I got a question where someone is asking what are the best fonts for mobile and desktop viewing. So we mostly use fonts that are sans serif because they are not connected with a tail. Any sans serif font would really work the best, and another font that I personally love is Roboto and Helvetica. These have really worked kick-ass for us, and you will mostly see our emails being in either Roboto or Helvetica. And if it would not be either of these two, it would always be a sans serif font. And if you see, it's again a sans serif font over here as well. Now, guys, if for those who do not know what do you mean by sans serif and serif, uh, a sans serif font, sans exactly means without, and serif means tail. It's a Latin word. So without the tail means that the L would not extend enough to join with U. So if you would have done cursive writing, it's actually a serif font, and this is a sans serif font, and this is the most responsive font as well for for best responses on mobile and desktop, because then these don't overlap. So I personally love this font the most, and this has worked the best for us as well, guys. All right. So first things being, keep a single column layout. Second, you always wanna make sure that you look at your emails from both the angles, from the desktop and mobile angle. And literally, Amazon is one of a quite a wild e-com player in the industry that does a perfect mobile responsive emails in terms of its shops as well. If you see, the content remains the same across the both versions, but it is a graceful construction and a clever media coding, that allows a wider than usual email to reformat into an easily readable single column email. Did you get it? Look at the left hand side, and you would see a multiple column strategy. And then if you look at the right hand side, you have email which is being rightly coded in a single paragraph manner. Also, instead of sending an email filled with heavy text, guys, about the details, send a mail which is very concise. Because if it only gives out as an announcement, for example, in the left email, and it gives a call to action button for someone to learn more about it. So you really don't want to send out everything out there in the email itself. You really want to lead them to a call to action and tell them that if you want to read further more about it, simply go out, check it out. So you really just want to put the Q in your email. That's it. Also, you want to really watch out for a subject line length, because you want to make sure that it is visible in the mobile inbox clearly, as a mobile inbox would only display, say, about 25 to 30 characters. And you really want to keep that under the limit, and create a subject line that's compelling as well. So it's like a case wherein you have to look after both the things. You want to create an email subject line which is short and it's compelling as well. So, for example, we have this example out there, where in the first one, the subject line is so long that it's not making any impact. But in the second one, it's kind of mobile optimized, and people are clearly able to see what kind of message is someone trying to portray over there. Also, you see, guys, just below this, what you see is something called a pre-header. You really want to experiment adding a pre-header. At times, if you add a pre-header, your mails go into promotions or spam. So at times we really ignore that, but then it really helps you increase the open rate of your emails if you're able to add a really relevant pre-header. So, I mean, precisely everything that you cannot write in your subject line, you can write that into your pre-header, because it acts as a bridge in between the subject line and the action of someone opening up that email. Did you get it? It's one of the most critical and influential yet underrated hook to your emails, which entices your audience to open the email. You must ideally keep your pre-header text under 40, 50 characters, and you must maximize the selling power in this out there. Because again, you must look at it at this way. Someone gets the email, they are only able to see the subject line and the pre-header. That's it. So the way your subject line and your pre-header is set up, it decides whether someone is going to be opening up your email or not. So you really want to keep that very compelling. Also, you want to use your pre-header text in a way that you're able to better explain your subject line by elaborating more on it. So for example, this particular email, it says check it for free, and the one that you said logo.png, It's something like an alternate tag, as you said, and yet it's coming into the inbox out there. So what you can also do is, guys, as I said, you can strategically relate the pre-edited text to the subject line and the from in the email, because the subject line here targets specifically here to people as people having 1,000 subscribers. By doing this, it increases the appeal to a specific audience, but limits its reach to people not having 1,000 subscribers. And he counters this by using the pre-edited text as people who do not have more than 1,000 subscribers, they can still get it as something. So, for example, and look at this email that this guy has sent, as I was saying. The subject line is how to get your first 1,000 subscribers, right? But then the pre-header says that got more than 1,000 open anyway, right? So it's kind of covering a Broadway set out there. Did you get it? It's a very clever example. Also, by using a subject line and pre-header text together, he is making it widely appealing to a wide number of recipients, by the way, and is increasing the chances that they will check the email for sure, and and possibly click on them as well. What you also want to do is, guys, you want to enhance the from section in the email, as we also talked about in the other section of this PPT itself. Often the subscribers, while they subscribe to someone, they expect an email from you and not from an individual, right? Who may be drafting it, who may be one of the employees in the company. The key to responsive emails is matching your from to your subscribers' expectations. So, for example, if you subscribe to LetX, you really want to receive emails from LetX, right? If you subscribe to say Amazon, you want to receive emails from Amazon, or at the most Sarah from Amazon, but not random person like Sarah Droppy, right? I mean, you do not know the person. Also, as I said before as well, you really want to keep your CTAs in the middle, center, and upfront, because then while you're drafting it, the mobile user is on the go and it prefers to, do something and take an action straight away. So if you have a call to action button in the large and in the middle or the above the fold, it's really easy for someone to take an action right up and then and there. So it's really amazing to see, guys, that you have learned the 360 degrees of engaging and responsive emails. Uh, Please feel free to ask me any questions and put a why in the box if you are able to get some part of it at least so far. Put a why in the box, guys. If you're able to get some parts of it so far. Okay, I see ones flowing in, and I want to receive a one and a Y from all of you guys out there. Put a Y in the box if you're able to get a good part of it of this presentation out there. And if you would like us to keep these presentations as exhaustive as these ones out there, because this really, really, really gets us going up there. And I wouldn't really mind you putting up a couple of hearts as well over there, if you really really like it up as well. Cool. People say good stuff. Oh, I already got two hearts. Whoa. Cool. Someone says let's go further. All right, guys. So this is, I know this has been a bit overwhelming, but action items. By the way, these are really important, guys. It's really important that you take some action on whatever is being taught forward. Because, guys, I can tell you this thing. Often in my life, when I was starting out early, and I've always told you this, guys, that I was able to build my first $1 million company before I turned 21. And probably at times when I see, I think I could have done that way before as well. But one of the reasons why I was never able to do it is because, every time I would learn something new, I would think that it's okay even if I not got it for fully. I should archive it somewhere and I would come back to it later. But then I can tell you guys, this leads to procrastinating so much that later never comes up, and that delays your action so much. Then tomorrow, when you actually have to do this, you never are even able to recall what you learned. Never, not you're able to actually reap the most benefits out of investments. So what I'm trying to say over here is that you really want to take some action right away. You really want to read out your notes again, and I'm hopeful that you did take some notes. When we pass on the replay to you, you really want to watch the replay once for your own self, so you know what has been taught in this. And then you really want to actually incorporate all of it. Probably what you could also do is you could send us a summary and we could vet it for you, on your behalf to let you know if you learned it the best way or not. And this would probably the best things that we could do as a company, right? I mean, to literally handhold you. But this is your time. Did you get it? This is your time that you get all of it. I mean, you could learn everything on 360-degree marketing, but then you really want to make sure that you are implementing all of it so far up over there. So who all are in with me on this one? Well, people are saying that great webinar, they learned a lot. Great, guys. But what I'm saying is you must take some action, guys. I mean, it really doesn't matter whatever you do. I think I'm gonna be making the most on the karma I'm gonna be earning if you are able to add this as a positivity, as a dent in your life, and in the right way possible. Okay, you really want to go through the replays, add a positive effect to yourself, to your knowledges, uh, and literally, I mean, don't just look at. I mean, some of you could say, and I've actually got one person saying that, Vipul, I don't do anything email marketing yet, but I'm just learning it because I want to help out clients with better email marketing and charge them consultation. Look at it at that possibility, guys. I mean, I really want you guys to take action because action can literally change the game. Just that. Just take that small step today. Okay. So now we have the module 4, which we're going to be talking about the next time on 1st of November, as the presentation has been scheduled. And in this month, we're going to be talking about the email marketing automation and the follow-ups, and how you could set up your workflows, how you could set up your automations, and how you could set up your A/B tests. So who all are excited in for that? By the way, who all are taking action tonight, and in how including all of that in whatever that they're doing? I mean, who all are taking that action tonight? Put a one in the box if you are taking an action, on how are you going about taking action tonight. Yeah, who all here are excited? Put a E in the box. E if you're excited for the automation module. Yeah, put an E in the box if you are excited in the other module. Great. I see a lot of ones coming in. Awesome, guys. I was really waiting in to get you guys to be to know that how much effort do I have to put in the module 4 for you guys out there. All right, guys. Thank you so much. It was great connecting with you. I really love this future that we're creating, as I always say. And feel free to connect with me on Facebook and LinkedIn. And for any feedback or any testimonial, feel free to send us one. We'd really love it on support@letx.co. And until the next time, cheers, guys. And yes, before we go, our customary, just to let you know, guys, that I'm a live person speaking in front of you. Here's me live on the screen. Hey everyone, this is Vipul Garg, and I'm sitting in this beautiful office of mine. I recently got this new wax polish done. It's a wood ceramic, real wood finish on my back wall. That's really looking crazy out there. And probably I've never shown you my office space as well. This is the view. These are my bamboo curtains, and this is the view I get out of my office. I've got this beautiful lights, my beautiful center out there, and my beautiful personal lounge area to entertain those guests who come in. to meet me up. All right, guys. Until the next time, see you. I really look forward to catching up more with you. And anyone who ever feels free to put a wave on me, feel free to do that. Cheers, guys. See ya.